Hello everyone, in this video I will present an alternative for using Apache Kafka in a production environment. Recently I posted a video demonstrating how to configure Apache Kafka for a development environment. I will leave a card in this video for you to watch if you are interested. And now let's explore Azure Event Hub for Kafka. I will provide the URL to this page in this video description. It's important to note that only Azure Event Hub with the standard tier or higher supports Kafka. To add more value to this video, I will demonstrate how to create the resource manually in the Azure portal, but I will provision everything with Terraform. Feel free to choose the method that makes the most sense for you. And if you've never worked with Terraform, I will leave a card where I demonstrate how to configure Terraform on your machine to connect to the Azure portal. Let's get started. First, we need to create a resource group. In the Azure portal, search for resource groups. Click in the Create button. Enter a name, for example, ROG_example. You can choose a different location, but I will leave it as a default. Click on the Review plus Create, then click on Create. With Terraform, this is also very simple. I will leave the URL to official Terraform web page in the video description as well. Here we have everything we need. So the first step is to click on the Use Provider and copy this content. I'm using the Visual Studio Code and I've created these files to organize our example. The main TF, ROGTF, EVT namespace.tf, EVT hub.tf, and the consumer groups.tf. I will fill them in with you. Open the main.tf and paste the content that you copied from the Terraform page. Here add the features block, it is required. Now from the Terraform page, copy this content to create the resource group and paste it into the rog.tf file. Change here to rog_example and here too. Now execute the Terraform init command. Okay, Terraform initialized. Now execute the Terraform apply command. Since we're running a simple example, I won't execute the Terraform apply command, but it's good practice to do so before executing the Terraform apply command, okay? Okay, one resource will be added, type yes and press enter. Okay, the Terraform apply was executed successfully. Go to Azure portal, click on resource groups, and there you have it. Our resource group was created successfully. Now we will create an Azure Event Hub namespace. In the resource group, click on the Create button. Search for Event Hubs and press enter. Choose this and click on Create. The resource group is ROG_example that we just created. Enter a name, for example, EVT test namespace. Okay, this name is available. Select the standard tier. Click on the Review plus Create button. Then click on Create. On the Terraform page, copy this content to create an Azure Event Hub namespace and paste it into the evt namespace.tf file. Change the name to EVT test namespace. Change the location to our resource group location. Change the resource group name to. Here change it to standard. And now execute the Terraform apply command. Okay, one more resource will be added. Type yes and press enter. Okay, the Terraform apply command was executed successfully. Go to the Azure portal. Click in the our resource group created. And our Azure Event Hub namespace created. Notice that it was created with Apache Kafka support enabled. Now we will create our Apache Kafka topic. In the Azure Event Hub, a topic stands for an Event Hub under the Azure Event Hub namespace. So click on Add Event Hub button. Enter a name, for example, Test Topic. And click on Review plus Create. Then click on the Create button. Move on to the Terraform web page. Copy this content. And paste under evthub.tf file. Change the name to test topic. And here change to the namespace name. Here change to the resource group name. And now execute the Terraform apply command. Type yes and press enter. Okay, the Terraform apply command was executed successfully. Go to the Azure portal, and here our Kafka topic or Event Hub was created successfully. The next step is to create our Kafka group ID, which is equivalent to a consumer group in the Azure Event Hub. Click on Add Consumer Group button. Enter a name, for example, Test Group ID, and click on Create. But we are using Terraform for this, so on Terraform web page, copy this content and paste under consumer group.tf file. Change the name to test group ID. Here too. Here change to the Event Hub namespace name. Here change to the Event Hub name. And here change to the resource group name. Delete the user metadata because it is not necessary for our example. Now execute the Terraform apply command. Type yes and press enter. Okay, the Terraform apply command was executed successfully. Go to the Azure portal. Click on refresh button. And there you have it, our group ID created. Okay, all set. Now let's test our Azure Event Hub for Kafka. If you don't have any application for testing, you can use this Docker image. I will leave the URL in the video description for a producer and a consumer Docker image. If you don't know the difference between a producer and a consumer, I will leave a card to a video where I talk about microservices, and there I explain what a producer and a consumer are as well. So testing our Azure Event Hub is very simple. Copy this content, go back to Visual Studio Code and create a producer YAML file. Paste this content. Change here to the Azure Event Hub namespace. Change here to the topic name. And here change it to the connection string. For the connection string, you go to the Azure portal. In our Azure Event Hub namespace, click on Settings and click on Shared Access Policies. Click on Add button. Put a name for policy, example test policy, and select the Send and Listen options. Click in the policy created and copy this connection string primary key. Go back to the Visual Studio Code and paste the connection string here. Now execute the Docker Composer app. Docker compose -f producer.yml app. Okay, the application is running on port 881. In the browser, access http://localhost:8081/swagger-ui. Here, click on the try out button. Change here to test message and click on the execute button. Now change it to a new message and click on the execute button again. Okay, two messages were sent to our Azure Event Hub. Test message and a new message. We can stop the application. Now go back to Docker Hub and copy this content. In the Visual Studio Code, create a consumer.yml file. Paste the content here. The Bootstrap servers and this config are the same as in the producers.yml. So copy this content and you replace it here. The topic name is the same too. And here change it to the consumer group created. Test group ID. Now execute the Docker Composer app command. Docker compose -f consumer.yml app. And we can see the two messages sent by the producer. Test message and a new message. And that's it. Thank you everyone. If this content was helpful for you, give it a like to help me know what the next content I should create. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, subscribe and enable notification. This will help support the channel. See you in the next video. Thank you.